Yeah, Cat filling in for Phil. It's Cat.
Oh. I didn't hear Cat. I heard Kevin. I was like, "Go away, Kevin!
Go away, Kevin. We hate you.
What did I do?
You're terrible.
What did I do?
Your team's better than expected. It's not what we want you to here for."
I'm interested to see what happens with Vegas this weekend.
Who are they playing?
Swope Park.
Oh God, Swope Park's got to just destroy them, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe.
I think they're going to get reality checked really hard.
Carlton Belmar scores 17 goals.
Here's the thing with Las Vegas: is it home or away? I should probably just double
question.
We should figure. Ryan, how is it formatted in your? Oh wait, shit. We're not doing that in this show because we already did.
I'm checking them up. Here it is.
I think it's Swope at home.
Vegas home.
Yeah.
Vegas.
Oh, it is Vegas at home.
It's the really late game on Sunday or Saturday.
That's right.
And Evan was the one that went against all of us saying Las Vegas could win. So
now, Kev, they can win every week. Everyone can win.
No, it's true. No, I'm not even saying you're wrong because I'm watching all these highlights of Vegas playing, and I don't want to use the term shit show, but
do you?
Well, no. I mean that implies that they're bad. It's more like they're just chaotically good. It's chaos that somehow works in their favor at home.
What's that chart that has like
chaotic neutral?
Yeah, that
alignment chart.
Yeah, I need that, but with Vegas is chaotic good. I need a USL alignment chart.
No, they'd be chaotic neutral. See, there's a podcast right there. Assign the 9 alignments.
There actually probably would be like chaotic neutral. Yeah. Assign everybody one of the 9 alignments.
We can do that. We can do that.
That would be so cool.
That would be really good. We should. There we go. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Find out who's chaotically evil.
Sometime.
Yeah, chaotic evil will be the fun one.
That will be Cincinnati. No, it's actually just you, Pony. Chaotic evil is you.
That's funny.
We will. I'll get started because we're not waiting on anybody.
All right, because Phil can't even go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's get it started and see how fast we can knock it out because I'm hungry. I'm going to eat dinner.
Hey, 10 minutes later. All right, bye, everybody. Yeah.
All right, we're done. See you later.
We don't want to listen to Kev eating on air, so we won't. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to the USL show, sponsored by Roughneck Scarves, your home for men's and women's U.S. national team, USL, and MLS scarves, as well as custom scarves for your club, personal use, or even some fundraisers. Check them out, roughneckscarves.com. This podcast is also produced by the Beautiful Game Network of Podcasts, which we are very proud to be a part of. Shout out to our friends at Off Pitch. They're mad at me, so I'll give them a hi. Definitely check the whole network out, though, bgn.fm, as well as on the Twitters at the BGNFM. I'm your host, Evan Villala, joined sometimes by my soccer colleagues, sometimes my soccer acquaintances, sometimes my soccer companions. They're always my soccer friends, and for the next hour or so, I will be your moderator, host, or maybe even your facilitator of a discussion of, the results from Week 2 of the United Soccer League. Because we did Week 3, we did the pick'ems, so if you haven't seen those yet, definitely check those out. They're on the USL website. They are on, we did a podcast about it, so you can check the USLshow.com for that, as well as they should be in your subscription feed if you are subscribed. If you're not, please do that. That'd be cool. Thanks. Anyway, joining me, we have the USL Stats Department and the man who puts the show in show notes. It is our international correspondent, Ryan Allen.
Good morning from Glasgow.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm going to be really sad when I can't call you our international correspondent because I feel like it brings us an air of importance or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll just make up that you're going places. We'll do that. Don't tell anybody. We're going to do that. Next, he's basically the best parts of Chuck Palahniuk and Elliott Smith. It's Big Kev, Kevin McCamish.
What up?
How's it going? Do you feel any better about that since yesterday, 2 days ago?
Any better about what?
Well, me calling you Chuck Palahniuk and Elliott Smith.
You know, I haven't. I don't know. It's fine. It doesn't bother me necessarily. It's just there's people that I know in town that if they heard that, they'd be like, "Dude, you're an a-hole."
So you're not.
And they tell me that. I'm not the one that's calling myself that.
So you're not putting that on like a business card or something and like carrying that around and showing it to people?
Nope. Not at all.
All right. Fine. Well, I hope this next person is. If USL had an Equestria, he's a Rainbow Dash. If you think he hates your team, well, 1, it's because he has facts to back it up. And 2, you're right, he does. It's Pony.
Hate's a strong word. Let's just go with really, really, really don't like.
He thinks that you're like one of the direct-to-TV My Little Pony Friendship is Magic movies. The laugh means that I'm right, I think. We'll continue. Gentlemen, this will be great. We already talked about this week's matches coming up, which feels awkward, but we had to. We had the lovely Mike Watts on air. And so we're going to talk about the week that was, week 2 of the USL season, starting by Louisville not playing North Carolina because their pitch is terrible. Hooray. Also, don't worry. It'll get so much better when minor league baseball starts in like a week.
April 6th is opening day for the Bats against the Toledo Mud Hens.
So, real quick, why did their pitch inspection just completely fail?
Do we know? I don't know off the top of my head.
If that first week game was anything to start with it, I can see that thing gets wet. It's impossible to play on.
Yeah, I think it was moisture. And I don't know if the grounds crew was late to starting, but I'm pretty sure it was just soggy. You know who would know? Our friends at Barrel Proof. So we'll ask them or check those guys out, and I'm sure they had some thoughts because they weren't doing a whole lot else last week. Sorry, guys. Yeah.
I'd be sad if I missed a game because I want to go watch this game, but it went out because
especially like
the field was whatever,
like a big one too against North Carolina. Now you have to make that up at some point on like a Wednesday at 11 probably.
Aren't most games against Louisville big games though?
But like this is one that I think Louisville would think of as a big game, if that makes sense. Like I think everyone is like, oh, we have to play up to Louisville, or it's a big, kind of we have to really show well against a big team. But this is like a game that I don't think Louisville was taking lightly. Not that I think they take games lightly, but regardless, that's a playoff matchup probably. So we'll move on. Ryan, you and actually I watched Indy 11 score against Louisville and then no, they didn't score against Richmond and then kind of beat them in the submission with really boring soccer in the second half.
Yeah, Richmond controlled possession at like nearly 52%. It was Jack McInerney getting the first goal for Louisville or for Indy 11 in the 41st minute, and that was enough to hold on as Indy walked away with 10 shots on the night to Richmond 6. And I'm just curious, what has been up with Richmond? I thought they were going to be at least slightly better. I'm not sure if Dane Kelly's been injured or he's just not been featured in the 18.
Yeah, that's the big question on everybody's mind is where actually is Dane Kelly? Because, they did announce him getting loaned down to Richmond. Not that I think he would have done a whole lot or had a lot to do here. I know, Richmond had more of the ball, but they didn't seem like they wanted to use it for any good. Honestly, a good road win for Indy 11. Nice to see. Honestly, the cross on Jack Mack's goal was better than the finish, but Kevin and I have watched him at an MLS level for a little bit, and we know that he's not necessarily a guy that's going to score a highlight reel goal every time out.
That's true.
But nice to see him open the account, I guess, in USL. And I'm sure Indy will be pleased with that. Richmond, what are you doing? That's really... That's all I got. I don't know, Pony Kev, do you have anything to add?
No. As far as Kelly not being around, I know he was officially loaned down, but this stuff can happen when you are kind of not that Richmond is relying on him, but if they are, it can happen when you're relying on a player who is technically signed to the first team where you're associated MLS side, and they basically get to do whatever they want with him. And you're just kind of give him to me, please. And we feel like it. This could be one of those situations, or any number of things could be happening as to why he's not playing. But
yeah. I want to see Richmond against a bad East team. We haven't seen that yet, but this could be a pretty long year for him. Yeah.
Moving on, another game that didn't deliver, but I think for different reasons. Nashville 0, Pittsburgh also 0. not great weather, good attendance, an announced 18,922. I don't know, Ryan, you want to start this one off as well because you watched it, or is this? I'll just whoever wants to take the floor. I think we're all going to have kind of the same idea here.
I mean, sure, I'll start. I was watching this alongside the Richmond Indy game, so my attention was split between the two matches. But from what I saw, it just seemed like Pittsburgh controlled the match a lot more. They won the shot battle 13-6, and more so that Nashville's 6 shots all came from Lebo Moloto. Oh, and it seemed like they were all over the place from being outside the box and inside the box. So it just seemed like Nashville should have at least scored a goal in this season. By now, they're one of 3 teams who don't currently have a goal, Pittsburgh and Penn FC being the other 2. And I'm just more concerned, I think they weren't able to break through with Lily Ball with Pittsburgh, but how is this going to play out in the future? Their next 3 matches come against Bethlehem, Charlotte, and Indy, which makes for a tough slate for the next 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And a part of me, I think really wants to go, all right, well, maybe Lily Ball's working out and they're a tough team to break down and they have, better guys than Lily had in Rochester or that, Pittsburgh had last year. But and maybe it's a chemistry thing with Nashville or what. But it's not great for either team. I think the Hounds will be happy with the point, and they should be happy with the point. But for Nashville, the fact that you hadn't scored a goal yet is, I think, what makes it really frustrating for them and a little tricky for us to try to figure out what they're going to do against Bethlehem and Charlotte, who aren't easy outs by any stretch, and who can win by 1-0 if they have to.
I mean, granted, it is still just 2 games, so it's not fully overreacting at the point. I'm just saying it's a bit worrying that they haven't scored yet.
Sure.
Right. I'm in the same boat where I don't like that they haven't scored, but let's be honest, they've played probably who are going to be the 2 best defensive teams in the East to start the season in Louisville and Pittsburgh. If they go scoreless in the next couple games, then I'm more concerned because while their upcoming opponents aren't the best defensive teams, they're not the worst ones either.
Sure.
But this is kind of what I expected out of this game. Pittsburgh is just a better version of Nashville, it looks like, where both teams are decent defensive teams. Their offense needs to show up, but I think Nashville should be happy with this result, and Pittsburgh should probably be happy enough too.
Kev?
I was going to say basically what Ryan was saying. The main concern that I have with Nashville is that they just haven't scored. But like Pony says, it was against 2 of the better defensive teams. So the next 3 is really going to be paying attention to see how Nashville's season might turn out.
Next match. This one was fun and unexpected. Atlanta United 2-3, New York Red Bull 2-1, which is always good. Atlanta scoring 3, Red Bull scoring once. My full-grown adult son, former Bethlehem Steel player Joseph Samuel, scores the first goal in Atlanta United 2 history on a heck of a goal, by the way. And then John Gallagher with a penalty kick and a second in the run of play in the 51st. Brian White gets Red Bull's goal in the 32nd. Yeah, if this is what Atlanta United 2 are going to look like, that'll be fun. Alec Kahn gets the start in net for them, so Mitch Hildebrandt is on watch. See where he goes, or if they use him a bunch, or where he ends up, I suppose. Guys, thoughts on this one?
I didn't pay much attention because the stream was dead to start.
Sure.
But if Atlanta is going to act like this, that's pretty good for him moving forward.
Yeah.
And it just more proves New York is to me is the confusing team this year, where I could see them doing the 70 goals for, 70 goals against, because that defense looks rough enough. I don't know quite how good Atlanta's offense is, but giving up 3 goals is never good.
I was supposed to watch the entire thing, but then because the stream didn't work, I gave up. So I didn't end up watching it like I think I was supposed to. But I think I was a little bit surprised. I was surprised that Atlanta won, especially scoring 3 goals. I don't think I should have been if I had done more work and kind of realized, the people that Atlanta United 2 have. But that's not a bad way to go, man. 3-1 against New York Red Bulls 2. If they have a good defense and they keep up the goals, they will definitely be a force to reckon with in the East.
Yeah. Again, good for the league. Good to see Atlanta taking this seriously, at least after one match. But nice to see those MLS2 teams bringing competitive and kind of fun soccer down to USL. It's always a good time.
5,000 in attendance for that first match was pretty big.
Yeah,
that's probably the most actually impressive part of it. I mean, to get over 5K for an MLS2 side, that's not too bad. Because an MLS2 side winning their very first game 3-1 is not unheard of. T2, I think, did that in 2015. So
you're not really bitter or anything. It's fine.
I'm not. I'm just saying anything can happen for this side.
Yeah.
It helps out that the side's playing up in Gwinnett rather than in downtown Atlanta.
Yeah. Yep. Moving on from there, not really a big surprise. Charleston 1, Penn FC 0. Atula Guerra gets the goal in the 62nd. Penn FC wins possession, but that's about it. Shots were only 6-3. Penn FC had no shots on target, and kind of a chippy game. Charleston gets a really unnecessary red card that I loved, and they'll come up with 3 points. So, guys, is Charleston undisciplined, and was there anything that you saw from Penn FC, if you saw anything from Penn FC, that you were interested in?
I tried to watch some of this game. This was just not a fun game to watch. I mean, Penn didn't look like a complete disaster, but Charleston didn't look too good either. It was just, a 6-3 shot game. It was a 6-3 shot game where neither team actually looked good. Charleston's goal is a very, very nice goal, but I don't have much faith in either of these two teams because the quality of play is not there at all. The offense is not there. At least Charleston has some defense, but I don't know what happened to 6 shots against Penn when they had over 20 against Cincinnati week 1.
In each of Charleston's 2 games this year, they have received a red card. Quentin Griffith got one in the 90th minute in that first match against Cincinnati.
And both highly unnecessary red cards.
Yeah, super unnecessary. And where are we going from here? We are doing Charlotte 2-0 winners over Toronto FC 2. Again, not really. Although Toronto with more shots, although you're not going to get a whole lot out of them if only one's on target. But yeah, no, Charlotte comes away victorious. I'm sure they'll be feeling good about a 2-0 win against Toronto. Jorge Herrera gets one in the 18th. Caleb Calvert in the 42nd. Guys, thoughts?
Nope.
Charlotte's just a really solid side. They're their first few pictures. I mean, again, it's against Toronto, but this puts them at the top of the Eastern Conference at the moment.
Yeah. Charlotte's good against weaker opponents. I'm looking forward to what happens when they go up against someone who's going to be a playoff contender, because Toronto and Ottawa at this point look like they're probably going to be 2 of the bottom 3 teams in the East.
I know who the third one's going to be.
They haven't been convincingly beating them, though, so... Yeah, it's Cincinnati.
Hey. It'll be Louisville because they're never going to play. No, they'll have a 30 team. Here's my wrestling reference, Carson. Here you go. They're going to make Louisville play 30 teams in a row in a gauntlet style match where they just keep playing them until they lose, a la the Royal Rumble. And then if they get through all that, they'll play in the USL Championship.
So they'll go through those
in front of 80
teams, and then it's going to be Penn FC that takes them down.
Yeah, basically. Well, no, it'll be like 2 other teams will randomly get on the field and they'll all eliminate Louisville together. It'll be great.
33 people on the field will be a lot.
It would be, right? It would be. Well, it's only technically because we all know goalies don't count because they're not real people.
But there'd be 2 goalies in a goal.
It would be. It would be. Yeah.
That would be weird and funny.
It would be. It'd be really good, right? They would just play defense for most of it and like cherry pick. It'd be awesome. Because like no disqualifications, no countouts or anything. So there's no rules. So just throw a couple guys near the goal and just hack it forward and see what happens.
Just tell one team to just line up in front of goal and then have everybody else attack.
Yep. Yeah, basically. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Riverhounds just kind of take their natural position of being inside of the crease. Speaking of being inside of the crease, Tampa Bay should have won by 3, but they won by 2 because there's no VAR. And that or AJ Patterson can manipulate the line of the goal in real time. Tampa Bay 2, Bethlehem 0. These games are always really chippy for no apparent reason. It is my goal this year to get to the bottom of that from the players, not necessarily from Brendan Burke or Stu Campbell, because I feel like those guys actually get along. Georgie Hristov, 62nd minute. Leo Fernandez, a couple minutes later in the 68th. There was one right before the half that should have been a goal. Bethlehem get a couple chances early that they don't convert, and then Tampa Bay kind of wakes up and puts the clamps on, and then there's a bunch of chirping and readable obscenities from the Rowdies to Steele and vice versa. It was a good time.
Yeah, good luck being Tampa Bay at home rest of the East this year.
Yeah,
the over-under is 1 game lost at home.
If Tampa Bay just improves their away form, they'll easily wrap up the number 1 seed in the East.
And they already won this year on the road, so that's better than last year about. So I don't see why they won't do it, to be honest. I think Tampa's the clear number 1 in the East.
Probably in the league.
Maybe, yeah. We say that now, hooray. Now we have it on record so people can soundbite it and then hold us hostage.
That's the way it always works, right?
Yeah,
I think with USL, I think the Eastern Conference is stronger. So if Tampa Bay is gonna take one in the East, that's gonna be the best team in the league.
There you go.
I just don't see anybody in the West beating somebody in the East.
Not
right now, at least.
I mean, I think Vegas could beat Penn FC.
Well, probably. If it's a home match for Vegas, because like we were talking about earlier, it's just chaos.
Phoenix somehow it works in Toronto.
I'm talking like if the top 2 teams in the East could probably beat anybody in the West.
At least most of it.
Most of it.
The top 3 teams in the West I still think are good enough to put up a fight.
Yeah. They're not. Well, we're not. I don't think we're implying that they're going to get like steamrolled 6-0 or something ridiculous.
No.
Like, still, I think it's 50-50 ish, 45-55, whatever. Okay, we're getting off the topic already.
It's all right. I'm okay with that.
This is early for us, even.
It's true.
We haven't talked about a West team when we're off topic.
Yeah, well, every time we mention Las Vegas, we just kind of get misty-eyed and leery, and it's like that person you see at the bar, and you're like, yeah, that's my dream man. Las Vegas is our dream team, basically. Not like a 92 Olympic dream team with like Jordan and Bird and Magic, but like a if we had to make a team, that's what we would.
Dream team.
Although, let's be honest, why hasn't Vegas signed one of those guys yet?
Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson? That's a great question.
Unexpected thing ever? I don't think so.
I mean, they did sign Freddie Adu. Isn't that basically like signing Michael Jordan to a minor league baseball deal?
I think so. Well,
what do you want? Like Bugs Bunny to come out of a spaceship with the fat white guy being like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jordan." And then he comes out and his kids are crying and he proceeds to like ground out to second hard in the at bat or whatever. Like,
balls in the court, Vegas.
Anyway, are we? Oh, I'm sorry. We're not a Space Jam podcast now.
We can talk about the sequel coming out soon.
New Patreon goal. If we hit, if we actually the $10 goal now, if you donate $10 a month to us, which thank you. I'll just do an audio commentary over Space Jam. I don't care if anyone joins me. I'll just do it myself. Anyway, sorry, Kev. The good news is we get to talk about your team, so I'm just going to let you do that, and I can center myself. Great, thank you.
All right. Well, Colorado Switchbacks hosted Timbers 2, and for about most of the game. I was expecting it to end in a 0-0 draw, but surprisingly, a little bit surprisingly, Portland scored the only goal of the match, Augustine Williams, in the 82nd minute, to take all 3 points. The first win of the season, only 2 games in. So, question on our note says, is this the upset of the weekend? Thoughts?
No, that one's coming.
No.
Or at least most surprising result. That one's coming to me.
I mean, I agree. It's probably not the upset of the weekend. There's other stuff I think that comes a lot closer to being an upset of the weekend. But
yeah,
it's one of this. I think it's one of the
situations. Hey, you guys won, right? That's cool.
No, we did win, and yeah. I think both teams were playing very, very well defensively. It was essentially like I didn't expect either team to get a goal, and if they did, it was going to take the other team to make a mistake first, and that's what ended up happening. Is Colorado, their keeper made a save, but he spilled it a little bit, and Augustine Williams was there ready to pounce and put it away for an easy tap in, and Colorado made the one single mistake of the entire match. Portland actually converted, took the chance and converted it, and that's all she wrote. 3 points for T2.
Yeah. Hey, good win though. Yeah, I mean, like not one that I don't think any of us really expected that from. Let me find out for sure.
No, but, I believe I predicted a 2-0 Colorado Springs win.
Did we all have Colorado Springs? I think we did.
I think that was a sweep. Maybe 1% a draw in there.
Yeah, no, it was a sweep because the actual result picked the right result. But actual result's gonna win this competition this year, guys. I think we should stop inviting actual results to play. Anyway,
up next.
Next match, Tulsa 2, Real Monarchs SLC 3. Oh yeah, this one. Sorry guys. Sorry Raj. Sorry man. That sucks. That feels bad, man.
I love the meme that Ryan.
Yeah, it's good. Shout out to Reddit user. Hold on. Goober Gopher. So go you of Minnesota, I suppose. Unless you just really like Gophers. Which, if that's the case, to each their own, I suppose. We'll tweet that because I don't feel like verbally describing a meme. I don't feel
we don't need to. Other than hey, we found a fun one. Give credit where it's due, and just tweet it.
Yeah, we'll just tweet it. We'll tweet it. Don't worry, it'll be there. Joaquin Rivas scores twice for Tulsa. Corey Baird scores in the 7th, and then Chandler Hoffman and Charlie Adams. No, not the one that plays for Stoke. It's Charlie Adam. Score in 2 minutes and steal 3 points is basically the only way to put that. Well, I guess you can also put it with first they stole a point and then they decided to steal the other 2 on their way out. This is probably the worst luck that anyone will have all year. I would hope at least because that's terrible. And the trend of 5 yellow cards continues in the West.
It happened in the Switchbacks Timbers match, and it happened this one. I know will happen in a few more Western Conference matches coming up. But Real Monarchs won this one 22, or won the shot battle on this one 22-7, which for me it's like not surprising that they won. Just more of that it took them all the way to 90 before they could get basically the winning goal.
Yeah.
I mean, this match kind of makes me think that Real Monarchs are going to be as good as predicted. And of course, going into next week when T2 visit them, I had some hope out for a 1-1 draw, but after going back and watching this game, I was like, yeah, maybe not. Real Monarchs.
Yeah, Real Monarchs
will be one of the top teams in the West.
They look as good as advertised again, which is not good for the rest of the West because they were pretty all right last year.
Yeah, they're good. They could score, and they could. I mean, they might need to shore up the defense a little bit, allowing 2 goals to Tulsa, but they could score, and that's going to be a problem for some of the teams in the West.
They are minute agnostic with their scoring as well. They do not care. It doesn't matter to them what minute they score in as long as they do it. As evidenced by them being incredibly mean and scoring 2 times basically in stoppage time to win the game. Speaking of winning games, San Antonio did that. They beat St. Louis 2-1. I'm sure Phil was ecstatic when they scored 2 minutes in, and then Mikey Lopez and Chris Tierpak said, "No, thank you. We'll take the win." Shot 7-7. San Antonio 5 on target. St. Louis 4 on target. 5 yellow cards. I don't know. Like, how are we feeling about this? I mean, good for San Antonio to get a win, but I think St. Louis will be a little bit disappointed they didn't get anything. But I don't know if that's because they have a new look and are kind of hurting for results, or if this was just kind of them coming up against, a really good Western Conference side.
Yeah, San Antonio is a good team, and their defense is pretty strong. I'm a little bit concerned about 2 goals allowed, but both teams, this was an equal game through and through. It wasn't a game where St. Louis was trying to hold on to 1-0 the entire time through and let it slip away. Mm-hmm. Both teams are good, and both teams should be pretty major players in the Western Conference this season. I think St. Louis will be unhappy to have lost points here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ditto.
So, Fresno scored twice, which is cool. Unfortunately,
you've missed a game.
Oh, did I? Oh, I'm sorry. I did.
I mean, I'm okay with not talking about Sounders too.
Certainly. I know, but we have to.
We do.
I mean, we can just talk about Swope Park a bunch because that's who won. Swope Park 4, Seattle Sounders 2 scored that number. It's another way to avoid that. See what I did there? David Estrada scores twice and probably thinks that he's going to be player of the week. No, sir. Carlton Belmar scores twice himself. 21-61 with Rodrigo Saravia and Colton Storm, which is my new favorite USL name. That's so good. Colton, if you're listening, I know you're listening. Colton, play hockey. Which careers? Move out to Alberta or Saskatchewan or Moose Jaw and play hockey, buddy. It's not too late. Also, change Colton from C to K, and you're a first round pick, easy. Anyway, soccer podcast, right? Swope Park lead in possession, Swope Park lead in shots, Swope Park lead in the game, Swope Park take a win. Look at that. That's surprising, right?
Leads in goals in the year as well with 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like to talk for a second about their stadium, their pitch, their it was awful.
You could just plug the rant from Phil last week back in here.
Yeah. It's again. Still bad. If you want to hear how people are upset about it, listen to Phil from last week.
It's true.
It's not good.
Well, and it's funny because I was kind of taking devil's advocate a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I kind of understand. And then I watched the game and I was like, nope, I'm 100% in Phil's court now. This absolute goddamn disgrace to the entire league. That field, that stadium, are you freaking kidding me? Especially with how good the team is. I mean, Swope Park are really, really good. And Carlton Belmar, I'm really sad that he didn't stick with T2 and maybe earns a position with the first team because, I knew he was good and he'd be better in a couple years, and sure enough, man, he is just lighting it up early this season.
Yeah, he's on pace to have Golden Boot won by the end of April.
Yeah.
It's true. He will score about 900 goals if he keeps going this route. So,
and he's still fast as all hell, man.
Yeah.
If you saw his goal in the 61st minute, he just the Swope Park took a really fast free kick, caught Seattle with their pants down, and then he just sprinted up the left side of the field, and then found a spot, took the shot, and put it right in the net. It was impressive.
Here's a better discussion with Carlton Belmar. Will he have more goals than the team that scores the least amount of goals in USL this year?
I think he only needs 16.
To do that?
I think the bigger thing is he's gonna get the Jack McBean treatment.
Ooh, he's gonna get loaned out to a team in England and then forgot about.
Well, isn't he was signed to Swope Park from T2, and then that season towards the end of the season he earned a first team contract with Kansas City. So isn't he still with Kansas City just on loan to Swope Park?
Probably.
I mean, I'm not saying that's gonna prevent him from going on loan to God knows where, but
I don't think SKC needs they need a defense, and he doesn't do that. So
no, he does the opposite.
Yeah. He's very much the opposite of a defense. Which I mean, ooh, you think they're just gonna be he'll just score more? It'll be great. We'll do that. Bring him in.
There you go.
Anyway. But yes, I do think he ends up scoring more than the lowest scoring team in USL.
Well, I mean, if they want to loan him out to a League One side, I know Sunderland will may need his help next year.
Newcastle will buy him because Americans. That'll be good. Can't wait. Hey, speaking of Americans, you know where you can get, this is amazing. You know where you can get those hot new US, not World Cup kits, but World Cup kits? Soccer Loco. That's right. USLshow.com. There's a box that says Soccer Loco. Click on it. Make a purchase. We get to cut anything that you guys buy. Equipment, apparel, anything like that. And if you, for whatever reason, email their customer service or anything, tell DK, what's up? DIKE, please. Thank you. Great. See, that's called a really good ad read. That's what that was. Really worked that in there. Really worked that in there. Thought I was going to make a natural connection to Sunderland or Newcastle. No. No, let's talk about not making the World Cup. People love that so much. What?
You're just going to buy Sunderland or Newcastle, like quick equipment either way.
Yeah, basically. You know, whatever. Where am I at now? Great. Got it. The 2 goals joke. Great. Here we go. Try this again. This is the first time saying this. Guys, Fresno played Los Angeles Galaxy 2 or Los Dos, and they scored 2 goals. The bad news is one of them was on themselves. That's right. We have a draw. 1-1. Fresno, man, I feel bad. I feel bad for Fresno. Poor Foxes.
Scoring like 2 goals and 1-1 drama.
Yeah.
I mean, 17 shots, 73 possession, 48 clearances from LA. And when LA had 2 shots and one of them was that own goal, Fresno should have won this game. There was like no reason they shouldn't have walked away with all 3 points. Yet they just somehow drew. And LA is probably great to just get the point out of that match. I think I saw a quote on their Twitter feed that their coach was thrilled with the tough result of getting the point.
Ryan, do you know what else they're thrilled with?
Zlatan.
Yeah.
I was going to say Soccer Loco.
They're also thrilled with Soccer Loco. That's right.
Now where you can get your Zlatan jersey.
It's true. They're based out of San Diego, so it wouldn't be a super hard stretch, says me, who knows nothing about logistics in California. Pony, back me up.
That's Southern California. That's quite a ways away from it still.
Yeah.
It's close-ish.
Live in a tinier state. Damn it. Moving on. Speaking of tiny states, Phoenix 4, Oklahoma City 1.
You missed a game again.
Did I?
Orange County, Sacramento. You keep going over this. You keep skipping games.
Now, see what's happening is I got mad that Pony doesn't know anything about his state that he lives in, so I didn't want to talk about 2 teams that are from there.
Basically 2 states, Southern and Northern.
See, look what he did it again. He did it again. Now I'm just going to skip the Phoenix game. Who cares? Next game, Las Vegas 1, Reno 1. No. Hey, Pony, how was this game? Cam Owasso scored.
Sacramento got a win, and I think they're kind of fortunate to have a win. Orange County had a lot of good chances in this game, which was reflected by both shots and possession. The keeper, Cohen, had a couple of good saves and one semi-mistake early on, which Sacramento got a clearance off the line to keep it 0-0 in the first half. But I think the big thing for Sacramento is they look creative in the attacking half for the first time in at least a year. I'm not sure if it's the new players, the new coach, but everything looks more free and not as rigid. They used to play, let's take it up the wings and swing the ball into the middle. While Sacramento, they have 2 wins. I think those are 2 wins they need to be very happy with. I could very easily see Sacramento as a team who's drawn 2 games at this point. But this is a lot of good things moving forward for the team. And Orange County, again, I think they're being very underrated. They got a draw against Phoenix, who everyone sees as one of the best teams out there. And they probably should have at least got a point against Sacramento last week. They're a team that, even though they only have a point, you got to watch out for them. They're better than people think they're going to be. But this was a good game. If you haven't seen the Cameron Owasso goal, it's on the voting for goal of the week and probably has a pretty good chance to take it. He completely got a great long ball in, just turned a defender and threaded the needle in their post. Really, really great goal, and I'm happy they got the win.
Fair enough. Try this again. Phoenix 4. Sorry. Speaking of tiny states, Phoenix 4, Oklahoma City Energy 1. So good. Sullivan Asante in the 28th with a great goal, and then Chris Cortez, who's your player of the week, scores 3 times. For Oklahoma City, Christian, come on.
Ibiaga?
Yeah, that one. Ibiaga. See? I got it. Scores in the 85th, but it is clearly not enough for Oklahoma City to beat Phoenix. Ryan, I like your joke. I'm gonna steal it. Guys, is Phoenix a new power rising in the Western Conference? Yeah, yes, they are.
Yeah. Not new, but yeah, I know they're my top team in the West coming into the year, and I think they're probably still there.
They were my number 1 draft pick.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like Real Monarchs. I think Phoenix is showing that they will be as good as advertised. And when we had said Phoenix and RSL or SLC, whatever, are going to be the top 2 teams in the West, I think that's going to be spot on. It'll be those 2 as the top 2, and then everybody bringing everything up behind.
Mm-hmm. San Antonio's in that mix. Maybe Swope even too.
It's true, but I think San Antonio and Swope Park will be battling out for 3-4. I think pretty much it's going to be Real Monarchs and Phoenix for 1-2. One of those teams in 1, and one of those teams in 2. They'll battle it out.
Probably.
Guys, I'm going to make an analogy. Phoenix as a team feels like Fall Out Boys from Under the Cork Tree Are Dreaming. Or maybe even Diplo's Decent Work for Decent Pay, which A is just a shill for 2 of their minority owners, and B are both of those people's respective best works. And so, yeah, Phoenix is they're doing soccer good, basically.
Mad decent.
They are mad decent at soccer. Yep. There you go. So yeah, Diplo, if you want to send me any money, I know you're a Temple grad. I know where that is. I can just meet you there. That'll be great.
Or guest host.
I know he listens. Diplo, huge fan of the show. He's in our DMs. Don't ask us to send proof of that because we delete them all the day after we get them. It's just a safety thing. Promise. Anyway, in the battle of the it's legal to bet on this derby. Las Vegas beats Reno, or no, they don't. No, they do not. Las Vegas ties Reno. Excuse me. Did they name this? Did they give a name to this derby?
I think they named it the Silver State Derby.
Oh, that's not as good as legal betting.
I'm more interested. What was the trophy they decided on? I know when they had the poll out, I was trying to decide between the giant poker chip or the cow skull or something.
It's a giant cow skull made out of poker chips.
A giant poker chip made out of cow skulls?
Oh, yeah. One of them is worth about $20, but actually like $2 million, and the other one's worth about $2 million, but actually 20. No.
Yeah. Anyway, better than that trophy is Vegas's new mascot.
Yes, Chalice. I agree. He's a great mascot and coach. He does it all. He rides motorcycles. What else could you want, really? Smokes, which is bad. Shouldn't do that. But 2 goals in 2 minutes, and then if you wanted to leave, you could have, unless you wanted to see a second yellow card. 72 minutes. Danny Masovsky, the guy that scored, gets sent off. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Reno looked better early. Vegas started getting back into it, and once Reno went down a man, once Reno went down a man, it was them holding on for dear life against Vegas, and they managed to. I'm not sure if there's a change in style really that got Vegas back into it, but as the game went on, they looked more and more dangerous against Reno.
Mm-hmm.
The big set that stuck out to me was that there were 76 combined clearances in this match. So it was like after those 2 goals, they just spent the rest of the match with the keepers just clearing it down the field to one another.
They decided to play tennis. They wanted to transcend the playing
5 combined yellow cards.
Yeah.
There were 5 Western Conference matches that had 5 combined yellow cards in it. Is it just like getting stricter out in the Wild West, or like what is their obsession with 5 yellow cards in a match?
I wasn't gonna. I was told not to bring this up, because it's the Wild West. Will Smith is actually now the 4th official at every single Western Conference match. And he knows little to nothing about soccer, unfortunately, or making movies in the 2000s for that matter. And so yeah, it's been very, he's like, hey, look at this thing I found in my pocket, and he holds it up like he's giving someone a card, but he doesn't realize what he's doing. It's tragic, honestly. Cool, great. I hope someone believes that. You ever do that? You ever say something and you're like, I hope someone like randomly stumbles upon this podcast and listens to about the, oh God, who knows how long, whatever minute mark this is, like 30 or something stupid. And then they're like, yeah, Will Smith would totally, what is he? And then they look at his IMDb page and then they watch like After Earth with his terribly bad acting son and they get sad and they blame me for it. And it's just a really great time. Or they just listen to the Wild West, theme song that he did and have that stuck in their head for a week, whichever comes first, really.
Wow.
Moving on. Hey guys, speaking of the Golden Boot race, we have one going on. In fact, it is Carlton Belmar standing alone with 4 goals, and then Chris Cortez with his 3 from week 2, putting him in second, and then about everyone else in the league with 2 goals.
Yep.
In the team Golden Boot race, there is Swope Park with 8, Charlotte with 6, Phoenix with 5, Tampa with 5, and then Bethlehem, Vegas, Reno, and Seattle all have 1 Carlton Belmar worth of goals. Which is my new measurement for goals.
So Carlton Belmar has scored at least as many goals, if not more, than every team in the league except
for 4. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of upsetting.
Yeah, I think Swope Park's winning that 20, game.
Yeah, outscored 25 teams.
Goes back to the previous argument. Is he going to score more goals than the team who scores the least amount?
I don't think he's going to get... He can't get to 20 goals.
Can't he?
Okay, he could. Depends how many times they play Portland.
Oh, hey, to be fair, when you play Portland, you only scored 1 goal each. Now it was the game winner in both games because they won 1-0.
Well, that was last season. Or season 4 goals through 2 matches. He's currently on pace to have 68 goals this year.
Okay, so he's not going to get that. I'm gonna confidently say that he'll take the under on 68 goals. But honestly, I think the benchmark for him is like 24. I don't think there's I think there's going to be a team or two in the USL this year that don't break 20, which I know sounds crazy. But
Nashville's on pace to get right?
There, right? Yeah, they'll get that.
So
sure.
I'm kind of sad that Pony's picking Vegas versus Carlton Belmar featuring the Swope Park Rangers.
Would you like to also pick Vegas versus Carlton Belmar featuring the Swope Park Rangers? If Carlton Belmar scores 2 goals against Las Vegas, does he get a residency there? Like you just show up to like the Luxor and watch him score goals for an hour and a half and then leave?
No, maybe they'll comp a room or something for him.
Ooh, good. He'll hang out with Celine Dion for like 5 minutes.
The thing is, I think that's going to be a fun game to watch just because, Carlton Belmar could very well score 4 goals in 1 game and just double his goal scoring in 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
And to Vegas, with his chaotic as their whole home field situation. And not chaotic like bad, like chaotic like it's kind of entertaining.
Not like Louisville chaotic, like Mutant Football League chaotic?
Exactly.
Okay, great.
It works to their favor.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just going to be a fun game to watch.
That makes sense. I myself am picking Fresno versus Seattle Sounders too. 1, because good friend of the show Dave Clark will be on the broadcast team.
Always a good reason to watch.
Yeah, and 2, I'm going to try to telepathically send good vibes over to Fresno so that they win a soccer game on their own accord and like don't draw terribly again. So yeah.
I'd be really concerned if Fresno couldn't win against Seattle. I'd be pretty concerned at that point. They'd just be like, there must be cursed or something.
Isn't Clint Dempsey still suspended? So is there not a very, very off chance he could play for Seattle Sounders too, and like that would ruin the whole thing?
Well, they played a 30-year-old David Estrada. They only want to score either goal against Swope Park.
Yeah.
And that's like, if you guys are playing him, like it's not really like playing like S2. Like it's not that they're cheating. They can play whoever they want, but it's just kind of like, come on, don't. That game was all Swope Park.
Phil's not here to answer that question. We'll sign. Can we assign Phil a game?
Make much Pittsburgh Penn.
Yeah, he gets to watch the. Yeah, he does. Phil, I hope you're happy with that one. Don't tell Mike that we're making you do that. Just tell him that you wanted to do it or something.
Let me try. I'll try to watch Reno versus Phoenix. Nobody's picked that one, right?
Yeah, no, you're good. You got that. Reno and Phoenix for Kev. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else that we want to talk about before we get out of here? Other than, we did all the picks for next week earlier this week with friend of the show, Mike Watts. And again, if no one votes in the fan vote, that's cool with us, because then we'll get to be the ship that writes the people that write the course of the ship, I suppose. And the fans are winning the picks right now. We'll have helped them out. So no one vote, but check out our picks. Tell us how wrong we're going to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we all missed the first pick again.
Did we?
Yeah.
Another postponed match.
Yep. Another postponement.
It's true. I was going to say,
after week 4, that one's going to get postponed if this trend continues.
Yeah, I should stop doing that. They should play baseball. They should just make them play baseball if it gets to a point.
Geez, sorry, Ev. If this trend continues, it looks like Tulsa and Portland Timbers 2 is going to get postponed.
Happens.
He's really gutted about that one. That's a match he was really hoping for. Guys, I don't see a reason why we have to continue this podcast. So let's Ryan, where can people find you? And where are you planning your next flight from Scotland to?
So you can find me on Twitter at ILM_Ryan. I've now been to like 12 different football matches here in Scotland, including one that I saw this past Saturday that relegated the team from the Scottish Championship, who had not won a match all year.
Oh yeah, your boy is Twitter moment famous now, by the way. That's Ryan Allen's new. I'm actually going to change that as I'm speaking. Ryan, that's your new nickname intro thing.
Sounds good, but I think my next match is going to be this Saturday between Celtic and Ross County.
Kev, where can people find you and things?
Oh, they can find me on stumptownfooty.com, playthekids.com, at PTK Podcast, at K McCamish PDX, at Stumptown Footy. I'm all over the place.
It's true. But only if those places are Portland or the surrounding area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Physically, I don't go very far from my town.
I thought you were going to say you're home, and I was about to get kind of sad.
Well, I have to work, right?
Do you? I don't know. Only one way to find out. Just stop doing it for a while. Pony, where can people find you and things and things?
Find me at probably one of the least professional Twitter handles between anyone who does this online, at Iron Pony Chef, and I also work. Well, not work. I get paid. Slave drivers over at Indomitable City Soccer with Ryan.
Wow, least I think you're right. See, but now, okay, now wait. Now, hold on. Because we call you Pony, is it now just professional and people don't understand that you're not made out of a metal or a chef?
Could be. I don't know.
I just blew up your other two covers. Wow.
It's confusing for me.
It's all right. If for whatever reason or you just don't like yourself and you find no pleasure in listening to me talk or write or anything like that, feel free to follow me at Villella, V's and Victor, ILLELLABSFC on the Twitters. You can also check out my writing type work over at Brotherly Game, and I live tweet the matches from their Twitter account at Brotherly Game. You can find this podcast at the USL Show on Twitter, as well as theuslshow.com. Check out our friends, including Kev's podcast, Play the Kids, Mongols. There is too many unused substitutes that I was just on recently. Too many podcasts. I'm just gonna stop. Raising Bulls, Speedway. It'll take forever. BGN.FM. Go there. Check them all out. I know it's a ton of podcasts. You don't have to listen to all of them. I promise we won't find out, but give them a try. It's all good, people. What else? Check out our Patreon if you really want to help us out financially. That would be cool. Other than that, if you have any questions, hashtag AskUSLShow. Our DMs are moderately open. And if you can't DM us for whatever reason, just say, hey, give me a follow and we'll talk for sure. Until next week, though, thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Whoop, whoop. All right. Ryan, get out of here.
Yeah, significant that wrestling talk. I keep thinking that stupid. Yeah, whenever the wrestling starts, I think about that stupid John Cena prank call video every damn time.
Sorry, Bonnie.
All I could think of.
Sorry, it's 3:20, and I won't be able to make it for next week just because of my family visiting this weekend and next week in Scotland.
No worries.
Is that not? Do they not smoke weed on 320 in Scotland? That's how you do. That's how the kids have told me that was a very popular thing to do. What? And it's also Hitler's birthday.
What?
March 20th.
April 20th?
No, maybe. I don't know. It's got a 20 in it.
And on that note, I'm going to go eat some dinner.
All right, bye, Kev. With edibles.
I think the Hitler's birthday thing needs to be a drop.
And it's Hitler's birthday.
Yeah. That's going to be Welcome to the USL Show, April 20th edition. Happy birthday, Hitler. Nothing bad happened. Don't worry.
April 20th is the Friday. Or it's a Friday.
Yeah, it's a Friday. No.
Wait. So Rebecca Black likes it a lot, and it's got a GIF, a meme of it. Someone got knocked out by Rebecca Black. Yeah, Kevin left. All right, I'm making this video for sure.